Hey guys, I'm here. Welcome back for episode 9 of the final season of Bad Batch. In the last episode, the team met up with Fennec trying to find out some information on why bounty hunters are targeting people with M count and what does that even mean. While she doesn't have that intel, she does have some contacts that might be able to help them, but she doesn't take them to them directly, but she does kind of give that information and pass it along to whoever her contact is. With that said, let's go ahead and hop in. Guys, if you want to see the full-length reaction, as always, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you got a memorable channel, get you access as well. It is a watch-along format, so you will need your own footage to sync up the time code and reaction the entire episode. Over there, you get the same thing for all the other shows and movies that we cover on the channel. You also get to suggest and vote on what movies to react to each month. We got monthly Q&As, behind-the-scenes footage to try to make it worth your while, since you're going to support the channel. But guys, at the end of the day, I really appreciate it. Enjoy this reaction. Please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. That all said and out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into episode 9. Here we go. The Harbinger. Okay.
Well, that's the last of it. Go catch something big to eat.
You got it, Becca. Thanks for the help, Crosshair.
Look at that. You made a new friend.
I checked the ship's comms. Still no word from Fennec.
Aww.
If her contact can tell us what an M count is, we might figure out why the Empire's targeting Omega. Doesn't matter. We're not handing her over. Can't be prepared if we don't know what we're dealing with.
Very true, very true. I'm not exactly sure how knowing will affect the outcome either way, but hey, it helps knowing. At least if it just helps you feel better.
Betcha, wait!
I don't know why, that gave me Lost World vibes. With the little girl chasing after the compies.
It's just the Kevin. We've been in there plenty of times. Okay, I'll check it out.
If you've been down here many times before, why all of a sudden? What changed? There's someone hiding down here. Maybe somebody after... Someone's here. Somebody's sniffing up Omega's trail.
Betcha, where are you going?
Yep, it's Ventress. It's Ventress. Well, that crosses out the vision theory and the flashback theory.
You know, for rogue clones who are trying to lay low, you're failing spectacularly, especially that one.
And who are you?
Fennec sent me.
There we go.
We never gave her our coordinates. How'd you find us?
I have my ways. I hear you've been asking questions.
I mean, she's
about
got a history with
M-counts.
bounty hunters.
First, tell me why you want this information. Consider it my payment.
We already paid Fennec for the intel.
Not my problem.
It's for a friend. The Empire's after her and she thinks it's because of some M count experiment they're doing.
It's something in the blood. Everyone has it, but at varying levels. Those with a high count were believed to be more capable of wielding the Force.
You mean Jedi?
You're saying I'm a Jedi?
I
mean...
Way to let that slip,
Your blood
Goober.
doesn't make you a
Goddamn.
Jedi. You'd have to be trained for that. And I've never known a clone to be Force sensitive. But clearly, none of you are normal.
You got that right.
But if you do have a high M count, consider yourself warned. The Empire will hunt you down.
So is that why the Empire's been after me?
I can't determine your midi-chlorian levels without testing you.
Well, then test me.
The truth is rarely comforting.
Please, no one's been able to give me answers. I need to know what I am.
Fine, but just remember, you asked for this.
Damn.
How does standing on one leg have anything to do with M count?
You're focused on the wrong things. Stop trying to have balance. Let go of your conscious mind.
I don't even know what that means.
Try again.
Come on, Omega. You can do it.
Oh my god, that's not gonna help,
Why
guys.
don't you two make yourselves scarce?
She doesn't leave our sight, and neither do you.
Since you know about these tests, you must be a Jedi, right?
No, but I know some of their ways.
Well, how do
Enough questions. Concentrate.
This is awesome. Though I would love to know how she's alive. Now the whole thing is that her blood can receive M count. We don't know that she has a high M count.
I checked text files from the Republic archives. You were right. It's her. Asajj Ventress.
Why would a separatist assassin be helping us?
Who says that's what she's doing?
We're moving on to the next test. There's a weeping Maya tree up in the colonnade. Retrieve one of its white blossoms and return before the sun sets.
It's too far away, and well, the sun's already started.
Now that she's gone, let me give you some advice. Whatever you're planning on doing won't end well for you. Think carefully. How do you want this to go?
Just wanted to get the kid out of here.
Hey girl, I'm gonna need some help. I need to get to the Archeman fast. Okay, let's go.
You asked me for my help, remember?
That's before we realized who you are.
Get in your ship and go before we make you.
You can try. No cheating.
Let's go. Did she just slap him? God damn. Nice catch, though. This choreo, man.
Tired yet?
What do you really want with Omega?
Maybe I'll take her off your hands.
Not happening.
Why don't you be good little clones and stand down?
We're not big on following orders.
Nice. Let's go.
I wasn't planning on killing you, but you're making it very tempting.
We're good like that.
I got the white blossom!
What a sight to come in on.
What's going on?
She's been lying to us, Omega. She's a war criminal.
Times have changed. Something you clones should be familiar with.
Yeah.
We are not the same.
No. We were pawned in the same war. And we all lost. The Empire is more dangerous than you could possibly fathom.
Yeah, she would
I'm
definitely
many
know.
things, but I am not your enemy.
But hell, Omega pulled that off, though.
You don't know the things she did during the war, Omega.
But if she's as bad as you say, then why didn't she kill you when she had the chance?
Oh, we were just getting warmed up.
I don't know much about the war, but things are different now. People can change.
You're being naive.
Your evidence.
I never gave up on you, did I?
No.
I say we give her a chance.
No chaperones today.
Nope. You said no distractions.
I'm surprised you came to find me. They must have told you all about the things I've done.
They did, but you also stuck around instead of leaving, so I think you're trying to help me.
You're an odd little clone.
Thanks. So what did the test tell you?
You failed the first one.
But I passed the second. That has to mean something, right?
We'll see.
Unfortunately, she just doesn't have the little, like, stabby thing like Qui-Gon had, or a way to actually analyze the blood.
Should we be out this far?
It'll be easier to concentrate. Many who wield the Force have an affinity for nature. They connect with things that respond to their energy. Give it a try.
Like Betcher.
Close your eyes and reach out.
For what?
Everything.
I don't like this. We should be out there with her.
We gave Omega our word we wouldn't intervene. You did.
I'm ready to shoot at any second.
Oh,
She knows.
how does she know we're watching?
Giving up so soon.
This is a waste of time. I bet you don't understand any of this either. So why should I listen to you?
You literally saw her levitating one of your dudes. Like, what's the argument here? You walked, like...
I'm not the one holding back.
What happened? Where'd
um,
they go?
I think we summoned something a little too big here. Lovely.
Well, that doesn't look good.
Get to the Marauder.
Oh, whoa!
Not intentionally.
I didn't mean to. Oh no. Good job, Ventress. Good job. Nice.
Friends are making things worse. I can do this on my own.
Hunter, stop firing. Mistress can handle it.
Doesn't look like it from up here.
Trust her.
No.
You actually did it.
Don't sound so surprised.
Did you figure it out? Do I have a high M count?
From what I've seen, no.
Then why is the Empire after me?
Believe it or not, I don't know everything. But seeing as how a high M count would make you a target, consider yourself lucky.
Don't worry about it, kid. We're gonna figure it out.
At least this episode dispels that aspect of and questions that we've had about Omega over this time, even though I think we were able to logically already put that together up until this point, but this really kind of drove that home, at least. Just whatever is in her blood and her DNA.
About which part?
You tell
Oh.
us.
If Omega did have that potential, she'd have to be trained, which would mean leaving you behind.
That's not happening.
What you want is irrelevant. The fact is, the Empire is after her, and they won't stop. If I were you, I'd leave this place. You're not as safe as you think you are. Our business is done.
No. Damn it.
I still can't figure out what side you're on.
My own.
You're not worried about the Empire coming after you?
They can try, but I've got a few lives left.
I guess she means that literally. So, big old thing up in the air right now is basically, we don't know. From what you can tell, is no. But if she does have the potential, like anybody has the potential, I mean, look at Sabine. But yeah, from what we know. All right, man, that was a solid episode. While it doesn't really move us forward much, or let alone answer any questions really, and more or less raises a couple of more questions, while up until that final little bit, I really was thinking that this was just going to be, obviously we know more than the team does right now. We know why that she's so important to Tantus's project, to Hemlock, and everything that they got going on with this Project Necromancer. We know why they're targeting her, but they're still trying to figure that out. So I thought this was going to be like a process of elimination thing. They're like, okay, well, we just learned what M count is, whether or not an organic being has an affinity towards the Force or not, basically. If you got a high enough count, you have a stronger chance of being able to attune yourself to the Force and wield it. So they're like, okay, maybe that's why. We should probably figure that out if that is the case or not. So they test her, and Ventress puts her through the ringer and doing all these things, and she doesn't seem to be quite getting it. And I thought the revelation was going to be at least answering for the team that that's not the thing. But then we have that little thing at the end where they're like, you were lying, weren't you? And she was like, about what part? And then she started listing off all these negative things that would come with being Force sensitive. You know, if she did admit or find out that she had a high midi-chlorian count, she was like, well, if she did, someone would need to train her, and to pursue that training, she'd have to leave you guys. So like, it seemed like by the end of it, maybe she did detect something, but then lied about it to protect Omega from having to go down that path or pursue it, just squashing it outright right there. Because in her mind, if she did, that would just paint a bigger target on her back. No, the team not knowing that, regardless of that, there's a target on her back no matter what. Like, that's not the thing. This just tells us that maybe she also does have a high enough M count and could potentially wield the Force. I mean, we know anybody can with enough attention, enough training, enough cultivation. You know, we saw it with Sabine, who, as they said, was this like complete dog shit when it comes to her affinity towards the Force, but still with enough perseverance was still eventually able to kind of push through and make that connection work. It's just like, maybe we shouldn't even entertain that idea with Omega here regardless. But it just, the way that conversation ended made me think that the truth of the matter is, could potentially wield the Force. It doesn't change anything though. That knowledge doesn't really change anything in the grand scheme of things as it stands right now for the story though. So I'm a little torn about that, because it didn't really move anything forward for us, the audience, other than just kind of continue to exacerbate and fan that flame that we've been debating for multiple seasons now about Omega and why they want her. Because obviously, whether or not a person has a high M count is not integral to the project itself, because otherwise they have Palpatine's blood. They have all these other Jedi that they've captured for testing and all this sort of stuff as well, because they got bounty hunters looking for people with high M counts. So it's not like that's the key component. The key component is whatever it is about Omega genetically that makes her basically a universal donor. You know, like if we got like an organ or a blood transplant from somebody who's not compatible with us, our body is going to degrade or reject it. And that's what kind of has been happening. They have not been able to find anybody that is a perfect aggregate for M count transference until Omega. It has nothing to do with her M count. There's just something about her that makes the transference of M count efficient and lossless. So that's why she's important, because the whole thing is like, we need to figure out how to get Palpatine's blood and his strength into a new body in case something were to go awry. So I don't know. There's a lot of things kind of up in the air this episode just didn't really answer, but it was still a really fun episode, all things considered, because, again, we got to see Ventress, and that was awesome. I love seeing her. I'm glad that she's here and alive, though I want to know how she's alive, because last time she popped up in any of the canon material, she died, and she was laid to rest. But she is a Night Sister, and we know that they have their ways of cheating death. She may have been resurrected. I just would have and it wouldn't have made sense to really get that answer in here. I don't know how that would have come up in conversation without feeling forced or unnatural. I just want to know. So I hope we get that in either a future episode of this or a future Tales of the Jedi, or maybe we'll get a spinoff or something with her or whatever. I just hope we get those questions answered sometime soon, because I'm very, very interested in that. Another highlight of this episode to me, though, is, again, a continuous thing that we've seen accentuated with Omega is the fact that she is so open and unfazed by people's past, because she's never been there and confronted that. She doesn't have those experiences, you know? She doesn't have any of that baggage. Like, the moment they realize who Ventress is, obviously they fought in the war, she was the enemy, and they're just like, oh, you, look at all these things that you've done. And they hold those things against her. While Omega doesn't have any of that and only sees her for who she is today, untethered by all of those constraints of the past. The irony of it all is they've been looking past all the stuff that Crosshair did, and Crosshair even kind of got in on it. It was like, hey, we can't trust her. She's no good. The throwing her past in her face when that was what was happening to him literally just 2 episodes ago. Like 2 episodes full of just having his past and his decisions thrown in his face and people not accepting that he could change. You know, the irony of that was not lost on me at all. And I love when Omega kind of pushed that and flipped that back around on him. And you could see that realization sink into his eyes. It was a really nice touch. And then visually, we get that as well with her because of her lightsaber color itself. You know, it's yellow and, you know, it's not red. It's not any tinge of that. It's showing her redemption and her growth and her detachment from that version of herself that took place in the Clone Wars. I loved all of that. And I know, like, with the Acolyte trailer and then this, you know, obviously, I honestly, I didn't see anybody bitch when when she popped up in the trailer for this, wielding this lightsaber. But when in the Acolyte, you know, people were like, oh, why are there so many yellow lightsabers, and freaking the fuck out. They were like, those are for only the temple guards. Only they have those, and just completely discounting that has not been a thing in a long time. Kyber crystals in the canon do not innately have a color. Whatever color that crystal becomes is based on you and your attunement with that crystal. It is personalized to you and your spirit. While up until this point, maybe the temple guards or whatever made you worthy to be trusted enough to be a temple guard, your soul, your whatever, just leaned in that direction. It wasn't exclusive to the guard. It's just one of those headcanons that got widely accepted because that was the first time we really started to see that outside of the EU, outside of the Old Republic and stuff like that, which had its own rule set. Again, that is not canon. So a lot of people just kind of ran with that as the truth of the matter when we didn't really at the time understand what they were going to be doing with this moving forward. I know that we're kind of veering off topic here, but I just wanted to talk about it because she's wielding one right now. You know, when we're looking at an era like the High Republic or even the Old Republic or anything like that, where we're seeing a lot more variation in lightsaber colors, you can also attribute that to them having a completely different mindset and, you know, way they were raised and all that sort of thing, because that was before the decline. That was before the Jedi fell into this trap that allowed them to fall to the dark side. So there was a whole cultural shift and change that took place as we lead into the Republic that we know. We started seeing less and less of those types of colors because they weren't really nurtured to kind of be that way, because of the ideals and the focuses didn't lend towards or nurture people with those affinities or even raise people to have those affinities. Just something that I just was thinking of here. Now, why this doesn't really move us forward much with the actual story itself and the plot, and, you know, it at least shows that the team is trying to get answers, and realistically, when you try to get answers, you're not always going to get the answers. You know, when you go out and you try to seek them out, you try to figure things out, your every attempt is not going to get you the information that you want. And this is just one of those situations where we had a fun time, but it didn't really get us the information that we wanted. I'm a little mixed on this episode from the critical mind and the part of me that's just like, Ventress is here, you know? So, like, that's where I'm at with this one, guys. But what do you guys think? How'd you feel? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe if you're not already. Remember, if you want to see the following through action, you can check it out over on Patreon, or if you're a member of the channel, get you access as well. And speaking of before we go, I want to shout out our channel legends. Manny Share, Ryan Karen, York, Course Scott, Melita, Robert Anguiano, Jeffrey Hale, Jake and Trail, Eric Official, Casey Wood, Russell Crockett, and Justice Smith. Thank you guys so much for continued support. But that's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one. But until then, may the Force be with you always. Take care, everybody.